morning, Pittsburgh, and welcome to Pitt to the Point. I'm Donnie Blackwell.
And I'm Erin Clark. Pitt to the Point is your Emmy Award-nominated weekly one-hour news and magazine program that airs live from the state-of-the-art Pitt studios.
Pitt to the Point covers everything from the University of Pittsburgh to the City of Pittsburgh, as well as national and international events, news, people, and stories.
We are back with your favorite segments as well as new features, including weekly live reports about all of our incredible University of Pittsburgh regional campuses.
We also have a new segment called Crossing Over at Pitt. It showcases how different departments and schools at Pitt collaborate on the most innovative teaching in the country.
It is a jam-packed show today, so sit back, relax, grab your coffee, and join Donnie and I. We'll continue to bring you the most up-to-date news from the world of politics, sports, medicine, and entertainment in the city of Pittsburgh and at the University of Pittsburgh.
It was just over 1 year ago, on February 3rd of 2023, when a Norfolk Southern freight train derailed, hitting the area of East Palestine, Ohio. This caused damage to about 50 cars, with some containing hazardous materials.
Questions about the cause of the derailment are still up in the air. While no one was killed or injured, there were many concerns about the damage from the spilled chemicals, including vinyl chloride.
Inhaling vinyl chloride can lead to many respiratory issues and is even known to cause cancer.
Our political reporter, Natalie Silberman, is live from the community of East Palestine, where President Joe Biden is set to appear at the site and meet with residents affected by the accident. Natalie?
President Joe Biden will be in East Palestine, Ohio today, over a year after the train derailment that devastated this small town. Even a year later, many residents feel that not enough has been done to protect them from the pollution that has contaminated the air. This has been particularly evident in President Joe Biden's absence from ever visiting the site of the derailment. He has received intense scrutiny for this since it happened last February. Over a year later, the 81-year-old will now make his way here, expected to land at Pittsburgh International at 2:25 p.m. today. He will then travel to East Palestine, where he will receive an operational briefing around 4:20 before his official start time at 4:45. He will then return to Pittsburgh International at 7:35 p.m. tonight, landing back in Dover, Delaware at 8:45. Biden was invited to East Palestine by Mayor Trent Conway, as well as other community leaders. He is expected to discuss how the Biden administration has worked with local officials and is continuing to do so to help the residents get back on track after the derailment. The EPA has sent out many statements since the derailment happened a year ago. According to the EPA, normal operations of the wastewater treatment plant resumed 2 weeks ago after the plant was temporarily shut down due to maintenance, worker safety, operational adjustments. Winterization of the on-site hazardous wastewater treatment system is complete. Since the derailment last February, the EPA has sent out numerous statements like this one. Last year, when a Norfolk Southern train carrying thousands of hazardous chemicals derailed, ruptured, and caught fire here in East Palestine, Ohio, residents were forced to evacuate, as 3 days later, officials sent off an explosion to help prevent one, resulting in a massive black cloud that blanketed the small town and forced residents to evacuate. On February 8th, community members were given the all clear to return to their homes. Still, even a year later, locals remain unconvinced that their homes are free of pollutants, saying they have received conflicting information about the contamination resulting from the crash. Here in East Palestine, we're about an hour from Pittsburgh. As you can see on the map, the derailment happened just that way west of where I'm standing. President Joe Biden will discuss this when he travels to East Palestine today, when he meets with the residents to talk about the impact of the train derailment. He will discuss federal support for the community and hold Norfolk Southern accountable, as he's been doing for the past year. Right now, I'm standing in the area and I'm right by the trains. I'm Natalie Silverman, reporting live from East Palestine, Ohio. Donnie, Aaron, back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Earlier this week on Wednesday, which was supposed to be a day of fun and celebration in Kansas City, turned tragic. Just days after their victory, there was a mass shooting at the Chiefs' Super Bowl celebration parade.
After shots were fired near Union Station at the end of the parade, one person was killed and about 20 were injured. 3 are still in critical condition.
Authorities have stated that 3 people have been taken into custody in connection to the shooting. 2 of these 3 are said to be under the age of 18. No charges have been filed.
The parade officially began at 11 a.m. and it was around 2 p.m. that shots were fired. Stacey Graves, the city's police chief, applauded the response of her department's officers and firefighters.
The Pitt News continues to provide coverage of issues that affect students at the university and across the country. This week, find more out about a new president for our student government board, as well as the Pitt Faculty Union advocating for higher salaries.
This is Pitt News on Pitt to the Point.
Pitt Space Initiative joins Keystone Space Collaborative. The University of Pittsburgh Swanson School of Engineering joined the Keystone Space Collaborative, a nonprofit organization committed to space-related studies and technological advancements. This partnership highlights the increased investment of space exploration in Pittsburgh at the university and community level. Sarah Mayer runs uncontested in the SGB presidential election. Sarah, a junior neuroscience and psychology major at Pitt, is the only candidate running for the presidential position of the Student Government Board. Sarah and her slate, the Blank Slate, plan to develop the Students of Color Solidarity Task Force into a permanent committee and enhance the Career Center's support for postgraduates. Pitt Faculty Union assembles outside the Pitt to advocate for higher salaries for part-time faculty. Last Sunday, about 50 members of Pitt's faculty union assembled outside of the Peterson Events Center to endorse a $60,000 base salary for part-time faculty.
I think the thing about reporting on the unions is that they are very important, that these negotiations that are going on between the university and the unions, and also just this conversation about labor rights, workers' rights, is something that the public, especially the student body, should really know about.
The university issued a statement about these ongoing negotiations between the Pitt Faculty Union and the University of Pittsburgh.
The Student Government Board, or SGB, met recently to discuss implementing certain changes on campus.
From discrepancies about Panther funds to new elections, I don't know, maybe they could lower the cost for laundry to $1. We turn to our Pitt Beat reporter, Simon Krasner, for more updates. Simon?
There was a recent meeting for the Student Government Board, and there are some important issues discussed. There are 30 new AEDs that are going to be installed on campus in some buildings that don't currently have them. And there's also some drama for students and confusion as well about whether or not some restaurants in Oakland accept Panther funds and dining dollars.
One of our board members, Vice President of Policy, Sarah Mayer, has been working with Environmental Health and Safety at Pitt to get AEDs installed around campus.
Started looking at the AED map that the university has. We populate a map just like showing the locations of different AEDs on campus, and I noticed some of the bigger buildings such as Chevron, like the Clapling Lee Crawford complex, Eberly, Old Engineering Hall, Allen Hall, they don't have a singular AED in any of those buildings.
30 new AEDs arrived on Tuesday, and Sarah is hoping to get those into certain residence halls and buildings that are currently lacking them. Another key issue was related to Panther funds and off-campus dining dollars, which are methods of payment through student meal plans. Students are supposed to be able to use Panther funds and off-campus dining dollars at a number of establishments near campus, but students face difficulties when trying to use them.
If you walk into some of the places they accept either off-campus dining dollars or Panther funds, not all of them work, and sometimes the establishments don't even know how to use them or how to get it fixed if it doesn't work. So there's a list online of the locations that accept them, but that is not up to date, and also there's a form to submit basically a notice that it's not working, and unfortunately that form doesn't work right now. So we were talking with some people in leadership about that as well, and they're hoping to get that fixed. I know that Giant Eagle previously didn't accept dining dollars, even though it said they did, so they contacted Giant Eagle and they do now, so that's really awesome.
But the issue also more broadly is communication to the student body about what things work and what things don't. Right now there's a website that lists all of these things, but that website's slightly out of date, and also their mechanism by which you can report things that are broken also doesn't work sometimes. And these are things that we brought up and are currently being addressed by leadership at the university.
The new AEDs should be installed soon, and the dilemma for whether or not some restaurants take dining dollars and Panther funds should also be resolved. The safety and well-being of students here at Pitt, as well as faculty, is always a top priority. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt Beat reporter Simon Krasner. Donnie, Erin.
Thank you, Simon. Have you watched a story today that interests you and want to find out more about what's going on in Pittsburgh? Then visit our website.
That's right. If you want to find out more about the world of politics, medicine, business, and technology, and more, log on to pittothepoint.com. Not only can you see clips from today's show, but you can also read about the topics that interest you and go to all of our social media. Check it out at pittothepoint.com.
Make sure to also check us out on our other social media platforms from Instagram, TikTok, and you guessed it, Facebook.
They're all under the name Pitt to the Point. You'll see your favorite anchor duo on there for the next week, as well as behind-the-scenes footage from our crew.
Coming up after the break, find out more about updates from Chancellor Joan Gable regarding the Board of Trustees' February meeting.
Also see how the City of Pittsburgh kicked off Black History Month by announcing a new EMT program honoring the nation's first ever emergency medical service.
And one of Pittsburgh's most popular tourist attractions is reopening after a 5-week shutdown due to mechanical and electrical system failures.
Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Time for your next adventure. No idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. How exciting.
We are indeed driven by the search to expand human understanding, improve health, spur innovation, and stimulate solutions to the greatest needs of modern society. Our collaborative approach has resulted in 229 patents, 28 startups, and 649 invention disclosures over the past 2 years. HIT's research delivers impact.
I'm driven by the search to find a cure for blindness.
I study galaxies to help you understand the universe.
We work on vaccines because vaccines change the world.
I help people fight for their rights through music.
I'm driven by the search to make the world more accessible and inclusive for people with disabilities.
We are creating new technologies for autonomous space systems.
I'm bridging research and practice to advance racial justice.
We are driven by the search.
Welcome to the University of Pittsburgh. We're here in the Cathedral of Learning. Imagine being here in the Commons Room or an Nationality.
What do you think?
So what do you think? Hail to Pitt. Hail to Pitt. Proud member of the ACC.
Pittsburgh's regional transit plans to transition 100% of its buses to zero emissions by year 2045. They currently have 730 buses that are now electric.
The PRT is expected to spend about $1 billion over the next 20 years on transportation. After the year 2032, the agency will only purchase zero-emission buses.
PRT's first 2 battery electric buses were installed in 2020, followed by 6 more buses in 2021. The agency then approved funding of 15 more buses.
Electric buses cost about 60% more than their diesel counterparts. The average cost of a 40-foot electric is about $950,000. Federal funding will be used to make up the difference in cost. Pittsburgh Regional Transit announced that the Monongahela Incline, one of the 2 main inclines in the city and a staple in Pittsburgh's transportation system, is set to reopen after a month-long closure.
Our City Beat reporter, Haley Ryman, has more on the information on the reopening. Haley?
I'm here at the Monongahela Incline, less than a week after the incline reopened following a 5-week maintenance closure, and just a few days after being shut down again due to an apparent door closure issue. I had the chance to speak to Adam Brandoff, Director of Public Relations and spokesperson for Pittsburgh Regional Transit, about these recent closures.
The incline is 154 years old. You can't just go to Home Depot and pick up parts for it. So it is very expensive to operate, very expensive to maintain. Once you sort of get into the guts of the incline, you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know how necessarily to make repairs and create those fixes. So that sort of has to happen on the fly. We have engineers that they're, some of the top engineers in their field, but it is not a simple task. The incline was closed for about 5 weeks. The main thing that was at fault for that closure, if I understand it correctly, so there's devices underneath the car of the incline and attached to the station, sort of tell the car it's getting close to the station so it can slow down. So they're switches, that's what we call them. And so the switch did not activate. And so ultimately, when it initially happened, the car hit the station. It didn't cause any damage. Nobody was injured or anything, but obviously that shouldn't happen. So we had crews pretty much start the investigation of how did it happen, and obviously how to prevent that from happening again. So that took about 5 weeks, and we're here we are today. So we do appreciate both the hilltop communities who are impacted, the businesses who are impacted, and the people. They expect to go up and down the incline without any incidents, and we want to make sure that it continues to run for another 150 years.
As of now, the Mon Incline is back up and running, and whether you're a tourist or a Pittsburgh resident, the nearly 154-year-old Pittsburgh staple continues to offer great views of the city. For Pitt to the Point, I'm City Beat reporter Haley Ryman. Donnie, Aaron.
Thanks, Haley. Last week, Chancellor Gable announced in the Board of Trustees meeting an update to her new plan for the university and the actions that will be taken for Pitt over the course of the next 5 years.
The Chancellor emphasized how Pitt will grow by adding to the university's key values of academic excellence, innovation, inclusion, collaboration, and community. The board also approved Trustee John Bambernack as chair-elect for the term beginning July 1st in 2024.
Former trustees Jane Allred, G. Nicholas Beckwith, Cy Holzer, Keith Herbshire, Tom Van Kirk, and Maria Whittington were elected as emeritus trustees as well.
A resolution of appreciation for Senior Vice Chancellor and Chief Financial Officer Harry Shastry was given, as he will become the CFO of his alma mater, Georgetown University. And we're back with another pick from over our 600 clubs here on campus.
We continue our Clubbing at Pitt segment this week with a feature on an organization all about empowering young women who want to study law.
The Women in Law Club meets weekly and brings in guest speakers to talk about their experiences in law.
I mean, I have so many friends that are pre-law here at Pitt, so it is great to see this opportunity for them. Check it out.
Women in Law is an organization here at Pitt that focuses on encouraging young women to go into the legal field. We do this through creating an environment for them to find peers and resources that they can use and feel supported through, no matter what step of the law school application journey they're in. So we have a few different meeting styles that we do. Our main meeting style is guest speakers. We have speakers like female judges and attorneys from around the Pittsburgh area to come and speak. We have the Pitt Law Women's Association, which is a group of female law students at Pitt Law School. But we also do social events, so we have meetings where our members just do fun icebreakers or debate nights. It kind of varies depending on the night.
I decided to run for president for the club because I joined the club my sophomore year. I found it a really helpful experience to be able to be around like-minded peers. Thought that all of the presentations they did with networking ceremonies and guest speakers were all super helpful. The ball was already rolling, but I wanted to make it even bigger and have more of an impact. So I think it's important to have a space where you can talk about issues with other people. And I also think it's really important to inform, especially college-age voters, because we are such a representative demographic, and candidates really want our votes. So I think it's important that we have a say and that what we want to see is implemented in office.
Well, our university has a one-of-a-kind emergency medicine program for students, and now the City of Pittsburgh is announcing a new EMT program tributed to Freedom House Service.
Our medical minute reporter, Morgan Wilfong, talked to a staff member from the first ever EMT service. Morgan?
Thanks, Donnie. The Freedom House Ambulance Service was founded in 1967 here in the Hill District of Pittsburgh. This was the very first EMS service and is still used all over the U.S. today. The City of Pittsburgh just announced a new EMS program tributed to the original EMS service, which started in the Hill District of Pittsburgh. Freedom House Ambulance Service was the blueprint for EMT programs around the U.S. The staff was made up of mostly African-American men, one of which we had the pleasure of interviewing. Mr. John Moon told us his story as one of the first EMTs and the first ever to perform a tracheal intubation outside of a hospital. We also were able to hear his thoughts about Pittsburgh's new EMT program and what the tribute means to him.
There's no EMS system until Freedom House created one. That's one of my proudest accomplishments is that I was part of an organization that created a system that's emulated across the country, if not the world. No one thinks about where this vision came from. We take EMS for granted. We can't envision a world where there was no EMS system. And that's what makes this EMT training program all that much more precious, because it's going back into the community and investing into the community in which you serve. It's trying to serve a twofold problem: the lack of diversity in Pittsburgh EMS, and it's opening up an opportunity for individuals that have not had an opportunity to be exposed to this as a career path, to let them know that this is something you can do.
This new program is set for 12 weeks and is open to anyone with a high school diploma or GED and a driver's license. There is a tribute during the Black History Month celebration that includes pictures, equipment, and memorabilia to shine a light on the nation's first paramedics. It is up in the City County Building's Grand Lobby until February 29th. For Pitt to the Point, I'm medical reporter Morgan Wilfong. Donnie, Aaron?
Thanks, Morgan. When we return, get an inside look at how PNC Bank and the Pittsburgh Pirates are partnering up to shine light on the small businesses in our community.
And everyone is buzzing for Pitt sports, from the men's basketball team's recent success to the anticipation of spring sports seasons.
Also, find out who will be joining Mario Lemieux and Michael Briere as the only 3 Pittsburgh Penguins to have their jersey number retired. And we will look ahead to see who will answer the question of quarterback in the 2024 Steelers season. Stick around on Pitt to the Point.
They come here, forged in the spirit of change, pushing to answer the questions, and then questioning the answers, embracing each challenge as fuel for reinventing the world. Because here, leadership, courage, creativity, innovation, and progress are always in progress. The University of Pittsburgh.
Welcome to the University of Pittsburgh. We're here in the Cathedral of Learning, which, if you can imagine being here in this grand historic building.
I'm a time when I strive for the greatness, yeah. You can't stop me now. I just wanna stop. We running up, we can't lose you. I walk a mile in my shoes, yeah. There's nothing that I can't do, yeah.
What do you think?
Hail to Pitt. Hail to Pitt.
Here, progress is always in progress. Proud member of...
Time for your next adventure. No idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. How exciting.
So tell me what the weather is looking like this weekend, Donnie. I need to plan my outfits.
Well, Erin, it's going to be pretty chilly all weekend. We'll see temperatures in the mid-30s and low 40s and expect some wind as well, with gusts up to 17 miles per hour. We won't see the sun a lot either, as we can expect partly or mostly cloudy conditions all weekend. So I would make sure to grab your coat.
I'm on it.
PNC Bank and the Pittsburgh Pirates announced their 5th year of Going to Bat. This relates to a small business program that highlights 6 local businesses that have made a positive impact on the community.
That is just great. We love to see the success of small businesses in the area. Let's turn it over to our business and tech reporter, Kayla Pattison, for more on this and previous winners. Kayla?
The Pittsburgh Pirates and PNC have teamed up to provide marketing services to promote 6 small local businesses. Selected winners will receive a marketing package valued at $100,000 plus a $5,000 grant. Exposure includes radio and television commercials to in-game advertisements with the business's logos. These efforts are designed to promote the entrepreneurship in Allegheny County.
This Wednesday, the Pittsburgh Pirates catchers and pitchers are catching the Rays and have reported to spring training in sunny Florida, marking the start of the 2024 season. The Pirates are in team with PNC this season for the 5th consecutive time to support small local businesses in Allegheny County. 6 are picked to be showcased in each respective month of the baseball season. Marketing efforts such as broadcasted commercials to in-game shoutouts are all done to support local entrepreneurship. Of the 6 small businesses selected last year, we were able to visit 2 of those storefronts, like Nancy's Revival. This quaint diner sits on South Avenue in Wilkinsburg, and it serves comfort food like no other. Their menu is designed to fill everyone's cravings as they provide the cornerstone of its community. The second small business we visited was Live Fresh Cold Pressed Juice and Smoothie Bar. This homegrown business was nominated for their Northside location and have reaped the opportunity that the Going to Bat initiative brings. This health and wellness-based business is stemmed from husband and wife owners Brett and Katie Gilliam. The Pirates gave them great hospitality at home games while marketing their business to the crowd. When visiting the Live Fresh location on campus, co-owner Katie shared her pieces of advice to small businesses that are considering to apply.
Basically just go for it. You never know what opportunities will be presented to you through anything that comes your way. The award and the grant opened up so many windows of opportunity for us and presented us opportunities that we really never would have pursued or had the access to otherwise.
The it's not only the Pirates and Catchers' first week of the season, but it is for small businesses to promote and for the local business to define their community. This opportunity should not be overlooked as local businesses define community, and this could be the strike thrown of a lifetime. The deadline to apply is this Sunday, so do not miss out. A home run can be waiting for you at the plate. For Pitt to the Point business and technology reporter, I am Kayla Pattison. I now turn to City Sports reporter Megan O'Connell at PPG Paints Arena. Megan?
Thanks, Kayla. Jaromir Jagr, the iconic right wing who made an indelible mark on the Pittsburgh Penguins, will join an exclusive club this Sunday as his number 68 jersey will be retired. Jagr's jersey retirement ceremony will elevate him to the esteemed company of Penguins legends, notably as only the third player in franchise history to receive the honor. Drafted by Pittsburgh in the first round of the 1990 NHL Draft, his impressive career statistics include 1,921 points, 766 goals, and 1,155 assists in 1,733 games, placing him second in NHL history for total points, only behind Wayne Gretzky. A 7-time selection to the NHL First All-Star team, the 51-year-old enjoyed a storied 24-season NHL career, playing for 9 different teams. His accolades with the Penguins include winning the Hart Trophy as NHL's most valuable player and the Art Ross Trophy as the league's leading scorer on 5 different occasions. Jagr's jersey retirement ceremony promises to be a fitting tribute to his immense impact on the Pittsburgh Penguins and the game of hockey as a whole. Furthermore, the Pittsburgh Steelers have cut ties with quarterback Mitch Trubisky, parting ways with the former number 2 overall draft pick after 2 underwhelming seasons. Trubisky's departure from the Steelers organization was confirmed on Monday, marking the end of his tenure with the team and thrusting him into free agency. The quarterback joined the Steelers in March 2022 amid hopes that he would fill the void left by the retired Ben Roethlisberger. However, Trubisky's performance fell short of expectations, leading him to the eventual benching in favor of then-rookie Kenny Pickett after just 4 starts. Despite receiving another opportunity to showcase his talents during the season, filling in for an injured Pickett, Trubisky failed to deliver, suffering losses against New England and Indianapolis before ultimately being replaced by third-stringer Mason Rudolph. In related news, Steelers Nation is swirling about the franchise potentially making a move for Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields, based on betting odds released by DraftKings. Fields' performances with the Bears have demonstrated his potential to elevate the Steelers' offense to new heights. The potential acquisition of Fields by the Steelers suggests a strategic move to reshape their quarterback position for the upcoming season. The Pittsburgh Pirates are gearing up for the upcoming baseball season, as pitchers and catchers reported to Pirate City in Bradenton, Florida, where they will play in the Grapefruit League games. Among the notable prospects joining the camp is Paul Skeens, considered one of the most exciting talents in the Pirates franchise. In addition to the influx of young talent, the Pirates made significant moves in the offseason to strengthen their roster. Marco Gonzalez and Martin Perez were added to enhance the big league rotation. The Pirates Grapefruit League will kick off with an opener against the Minnesota Twins on February 24th, followed by their Lacombe Park debut against the Baltimore Orioles on February 25th. Looking ahead to the regular season, the Pirates will commence their 2024 season with a 4-game series against the Miami Marlins, following by a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. As the Pirates prepare for the upcoming season, anticipation is high among fans, eager to see how the team's blend of seasoned veterans and promising young talent will fare on the diamond. From PPG Arena in downtown Pittsburgh, I'm City Sports reporter Megan O'Connell. Donnie, Aaron.
Thanks, Megan. Well, my favorite time of the year, March Madness, is right around the corner, and the Pitt men's basketball team is making a push to appear in the NCAA tournament for the 2nd year in a row.
We turn to our Pitt sports reporter, Risa Campbell, for more on this and other Pitt news sports.
This past week has been an impressive week for college sports. From basketball, football, and baseball, the college sports culture is more energetic than ever. With fresh athletes, coaches, and a wide student fan base, the Pittsburgh Panthers have long but exciting seasons ahead of them. Beginning with baseball, today marks the first official day of the 2024 season. Pitt baseball looks to build a new legacy, as last year was their third consecutive ACC tournament appearance, despite losing the series finale to North Carolina State. The team ended the 2023 season with a 24-31 record and a new Pitt ACC tournament record of 6-3. Make sure you check out the schedule for the 2024 season, and with new coaches and highly skilled players, the team is hopeful at a fourth consecutive appearance in the ACC tournament. Make sure to view their season opener today as they look to play Maine at 1 p.m. in Centennial Park in Port Charlotte, Florida. In other news, this past Tuesday, February 13th, the Pitt Panthers men's basketball team rose in rankings and continued in the NCAA tournament push with a huge upset road victory against the Virginia Cavaliers. This was a major upset victory as the Panthers snapped Virginia's 23-game home streak, the longest active streak in college basketball. The Panthers defeated Virginia with a score of 74-61 and are now on a 4-game win streak while winning 6 of their past 7 games. The last team to defeat the Cavaliers occurred back in December of 2022, and the Panthers competed with the same high energy, with scoring 35 points in the first half, which is 8 more than the second highest total of an opponent in Charlottesville in the current season. The Panthers are now on a continuous rise as they are number 6 in the ACC and have gone from number 83 to number 53 in net rankings in the past month. The team is now more motivated than ever to defeat more high-ranking teams like Virginia and to move down even more net rankings in the rest of the season. Now, after 4 Pitt players competed in the 2024 East-West Shrine Bowl on Thursday, February 1st, 3 Pitt players have been invited to compete in the 2024 NFL Combine. Pitt players Matt Goncalves, Bub Means, and MJ Devonshire were invited to play in the opportunity to improve their draft stock value for the 2024 NFL Draft. While they all competed in the Shrine Bowl, AJ Woods and Devonshire all saw the field, making a huge impact for the West team, emerging with a 26-11 victory over the East. The NFL Combine begins Monday, February 26th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Finally, Pitt football has seen many quarterbacks over the years, from Pickett, Slovis, and now the team is excited to introduce a new quarterback for the 2024 season, Julian Duggar. This past Wednesday, February 14th, Duggar, as well as many other players and coaches, spoke at the 2024 Newcomer Press Conference and talked about what they are excited and planning to achieve this season.
Let those guys know that we are in this together. You know, I'm going to screw up as a coach. I'm going to tell you the wrong thing. But guess what? That's okay, because we're going to move on. We're never going to get beat twice. We're going to constantly get better day by day. Right, so I think that's huge for all of us to be in this thing together. You know, learning Coach Narduzzi a little bit too as a staff, learning how he likes things to be.
I know that I have to put in the work to get the opportunity. It's not just going to come easy. So I'm doing everything I can do on my part to try and get there, but that's going to be tough. But I'm definitely trying.
The new freshmen have a huge amount of potential for the Pitt coaching staff, for the rest of the team, and for the ultimate culture of college football. The coaches are ready to see the skills the players are bringing to their first home game against Kent State in September. From Pitt to the Point, I'm Pitt sports reporter Risa Campbell. Donnie, Erin.
Thank you, Risa. Coming up, we will be taking a look at what departments are collaborating here at Pitt during our Crossing Over at Pitt segment. Also, we'll be checking in on our regional campus, Pitt Bradford, and their nonprofit organizations. For more, join us back on Pitt to the Point after the break.
And we will also be turning it back over to our crew live from East Palestine, Ohio, where President Joe Biden is meeting with many people affected by the tragic train derailment. Did you know, Donnie, East Palestine, Ohio isn't that far from us. It's only like a 45-minute drive, so we could still make it. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the University of Pittsburgh. We're here in the Cathedral of Learning. Imagine being here in the Commons Room or an Nationality.
What do you think?
So what do you think? Hail to Pitt. Hail to Pitt. Proud member of the ACC.
We are indeed driven by the search to expand human understanding, improve health,
spur innovation, and stimulate solutions to the greatest needs of modern society. Our collaborative approach has resulted in 229 patents, 28 startups, and 649 invention disclosures over the past 2 years. Pitt's research delivers impact.
I'm driven by the search to find a cure for blindness.
I study galaxies to help you understand the universe.
We work on vaccines because vaccines change the world.
I help people fight for their rights through music.
I'm driven by the search to make the world more accessible and inclusive for people with disabilities.
We are creating new technologies for autonomous space systems.
I'm bridging research and practice to advance racial justice.
We are driven by the search.
This week on our Crossing Over at Pitt segment, we are talking sustainability and environmental justice. Environmental justice has research happening all over Pitt throughout the spring semester.
See how they are addressing Pittsburgh's air quality and existing environmental hazards that low-income and minority communities are facing in this feature of Crossing Over at Pitt.
For environmental justice to fully be understood, one really has to know that it is a multidisciplinary academic pursuit. And really, I think it's nice to look at environmental justice almost through a lens of injustice and understanding what it is that we don't want to see. So what we don't want to see is the current existing disproportionate burden of environmental hazards that is faced by minority communities and low-income communities. 2 research projects that I'm working on with colleagues. One is a study that we call FAIR, which is a play on fair and air. And we are looking at residents in Homewood and getting a measure of their asthma severity and their indoor air quality and seeing what low-cost interventions can help to reduce asthma severity in those households.
We also offer activities. They're really fun. And those speakeasies then will match the research themes that we've identified. We also offer educational opportunities for both undergraduate and graduate students. So for example, some undergraduate students might be interested in a sustainability certificate, and we have different tracks associated with that. We also offer a sustainability transcription of distinction. And if you're in graduate school, you also have the opportunity to look and work towards a graduate certificate in circular economy, along with PhD opportunities in circular economy as well.
Over to check in our regional campus of Pitt Bradford. Their nonprofit called The Hidden Opponent has been influential on their campus by spreading awareness for student and student athletes' mental health.
We send it over to our regional campus reporter, Lily Peters from Lily.
Thank you, Donnie. More than ever, student mental health awareness is vital in being a successful student and student athlete. Pitt Bradford's nonprofit, The Hidden Opponent, strives to break the stigma and spread mental health awareness and empowerment throughout its campus. Last weekend, the organization hosted its Green Game to showcase these goals. Take a look. Pitt Bradford's nonprofit, The Hidden Opponent, spreads awareness and empowerment for mental health within its entire student body. This weekend, the nonprofit held a campus-wide Green Game during its men's and women's basketball games promoting student mental health. Hannah Fisher, captain of the organization, shares more.
I saw a survey recently, and some of the results were really interesting, like seeing how stress before a game impacts your playing or after. I just feel like there's so much more that could be done within athletics specifically, but mental health in general.
The Hidden Opponent involves everyone.
Trying to get it spread more throughout the entire campus instead of just athletics. Obviously anyone is welcome to go to the game. Community, they'll learn what we're doing. Just spreading the awareness is the main goal.
Because when I was an athlete, you didn't hear a lot about it. We could take care of shoulders and knees,
it was taboo to talk about someone having a mental health issue, and I'm so glad that we're treating mental health issues now.
I think this is honestly one of the most packed out games we've had, and there's been a lot of anticipation and excitement, so this is a really cool one to get to know. More and more as we've grown up and we've kind of taken the reins with our generation, we've put a big emphasis on mental health, and we've kind of helped to impact it in all areas.
The hidden opponent has truly done so much for Pitt Bradford, and they can't wait to see what's next.
Truly amazing to see all of the wonderful things that the hidden opponent has done for Pitt Bradford's campus. To see more on the organization, visit their social media pages at THO_UPB. For Pitt to the Point, I'm Regional Campus Reporter Lily Peters. Erin, Donnie.
Thank you, Lily. Well, now we are going to turn it back over to our crew in East Palestine, Ohio, for more coverage on the president's appearance there. Natalie?
Yeah, I'll take my hat off. Let's make sure you're recording it.
Yeah,
we got it.
Hi, still here live in East Palestine, Ohio. I'm here today with Jones.
Jones?
So you're not a resident of East Palestine,
No, I'm not.
but you have many friends that live here.
I know some people that live down here, yes.
And what have their experiences been since the train derailment?
Not good. The federal government has done nothing to help these people. Nothing at all.
And you were explaining to me earlier that you actually passed the trains on the way here.
Yes, yeah. It's still a mess down there. They got those big containers that haul sludge and junk, and they're pumping stuff into them probably 24/7.
Oh boy. And you're here with your friends today who live here?
Well, no, they're working, but
Okay.
I just came down to support the East Palestine people today.
And what do you think? So your stance on Biden coming, you think it's too little, too late?
It's way too late. Way too late. Yeah.
And in regards to the EPA, what do your friends think they've done to help? If anything?
I watched the newscast this morning. This guy, Dr. Rick Taki, running for Congress or something like that. He says the EPA's lying because he's kicked up dirt in the creek down here, and you can still see chemical, different colors in the water. Yeah.
Jeez, sounds like
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Not sounding great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jones. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Y'all
thank
have
you.
a safe trip back
You
to
too.
Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Did you get a young?
That was Jones, and I'm Natalie Silverman, reporting live from East Palestine, Ohio. I'm political reporter. Erin, Donnie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natalie. Are you interested in theater? Well, when we get back, we will be talking about the theater festival meant to push creativity in the city and how you can catch that this weekend.
And with more live coverage from East Palestine, Ohio, our political team will bring us back in from the break with more on the president's visit to the town and how residents will be expected to move forward after this traumatic accident that endured only 12 months ago. Stay tuned.
We are the University of Pittsburgh, forged in a blue-collar city with gold standards, where innovators, researchers, thinkers, and healers are always reaching for new heights. There is no limit to what we can accomplish when we put our minds, our hands, our soul, and spirit toward it. Here, progress is always in progress. Hail to Pitt, proud partner of the ACC.
Welcome to the University of Pittsburgh. We're here in the Cathedral of Learning. Imagine being here in the Commons Room or a nationality meeting. What do you think? So what do you think? Hail to Pitt. Hail to Pitt. Proud member of the ACC.
Thanks for tuning back in. It is time to highlight one of our many alumni furthering their success after their time here at Pitt. And this week, I think you have a lot in common with our alum, Donnie.
I know, right? He worked for WPTS Radio and the Pitt News, just like me, and has gone to continue his work as a journalist. See Dexter Henry talk about his experiences and how he is incredibly proud to be a Panther in this week's Alumni Spotlight.
My name is Dexter Henry. I'm a sports anchor, sports reporter, and play-by-play voice as well. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh back in 2005. I came to Pitt initially being an athletic training major, and then I switched over to journalism. And to be part of media communications, that studies at the time, and see what the program has grown into has been amazing for me. So the Panther Sports Network, that started in, I believe it was the spring of 2002. And how I found out about it is I saw a couple of guys who were doing this show called Bleacher Bums, and they were just talking about sports. And then I think later that semester, they put up some flyers in the student union, just saying, is anybody interested in starting a network, Panther Sports Network? And I went to that first meeting, and I was a part of it ever since. And where the current studio is at the Pitt, before that was there, it was just like a little area that opened up, and it was like a little Hall of Fame almost. It had little like trinkets and stuff from Pitt sports throughout the years, and so small. So we used to actually shoot my basketball show in there. We shot it in there. It was like a little small thing before they opened it up much more and built the studio. So the fact they even have a studio on the first floor of the Pitt is insane. I mean it when I say it. I'm very excited about the next generation and anything I can do to help. If you're a Panther, you'll get my help anytime.
Thank you for tuning back in to Pitt to the Point. See a story you like and want to find out more about what's going on in Pittsburgh? Then make sure to visit our website.
That's right. If you want to find out more about the world of politics, medicine, business and technology, and more, log on to pittothepoint.com. Not only can you see clips from today's show, but you can also read about the topics that interest you and go to all of our social media. Check it out at pittothepoint.com.
Now we will be turning over to our entertainment reporter, Claire Donnellan.
Thank you, Donnie and Aaron. Good morning. I had the pleasure of interviewing Patrick Mayoral, the event producer for this group. And while I was speaking with them, they wanted to emphasize the importance of the Millvale community and the relationship they have with accessibility. And we go now to Patrick Mayoral telling the group story.
Suspension Theater Company started. It was founded by Jordan Speranza, who's the son of the owners of Mr. Small's Theater. He wanted to bring more accessible theater to the people of Millvale. And the thing I really have found about Millvale is that it's very community-based. A lot of their events are organized by the residents. Millvale Music Fest is the biggest music festival in the city, and it's made entirely by community. And I think that just shows the power of art and the power of, I don't want to say community again because it sounds like I'm just saying the word again, but that's really what it's about here. And that's really what brings me back to Suspension's tenet of accessibility. Mr. Small's Theater is one of the premier venues in the city, and the people of Millvale deserve a right to have good, accessible art, to be able to go on the weekends with their families and see a play, a musical, something that could really enrich their lives and bring really important stories to people who otherwise might not be able to listen to them. I do want to mention one more individual. Their name is Zev Wazkov. They came with this idea of wanting to do 24-hour play festivals. And now we're happy to report we're going to be featuring 8 plays on Saturday and over 10 playwrights, along with several directors and actors and other local talent on the main stage of Mr. Small's Theater. Suspension Theater Company
For giving the time to talk with me about this amazing project, and a big congratulations to Suspension Theatrical Arts, not only for this upcoming Whirlwind 24-hour event, but also big congratulations because they are now achieved at a new status of nonprofit production company. And this is a first for Pittsburgh, and it's all thanks to their sponsorship from New Sun Rising. Break a leg to the cast and the crew for this 24-hour event. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And if you're interested in purchasing tickets and coming to support, you can go to Suspension's website, and they want to emphasize that they have discounted tickets for their beloved Millville residents as well as artists and students. For Pitt to the Point, I'm entertainment reporter Claire Donnellan. Donnie, Aaron.
Thank you so much, Claire. Well, we have some updates on President Joe Biden's schedule appearing in East Palestine today. He is set to arrive in Pittsburgh at about 2:25 p.m., moving over to East Palestine at about 4:20 p.m. There he will give his speech at about 4:45, and then he will make a quick return to the Pittsburgh International Airport at 7:35 p.m., landing back in Dover, Delaware at 8:45. Don't forget, Pitt to the Point airs every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on the University of Pittsburgh website, as well as the Pitt to the Point website.
You can also watch a re-air of the show on Saturday morning at 10:30 on CBSN. That is KDKA's TV streaming platform, so make sure you all tune in.
Well, Donnie, it looks like we have hit another end to our show. It's already the third week, and time just keeps on flying by, but we can't thank you all enough for tuning in today and spending your Friday morning with us.
I know, right, Aaron? I can't believe we have done 3 whole shows already. It feels like yesterday the semester just started.
And if it's the third show already, that means you guys get to see your favorite anchor duo only for one more time next week.
Well, since the weather is a little gloomy, would you say that this weekend it's a cozy night in?
Yes, definitely going to catch up on some shows and binge watch some more Bachelor episodes.
Well, with my favorite season of football being over, I don't know what I'm going to do with the extra time on my hands. So maybe I'll catch you up on those Bachelor episodes.
Well, you have a lot to catch up on, just like the people at home can catch up on all of our former Pitt to the Point shows in case they missed anything.
That's right. Well, we hope to see you again next week for some more news and all things here at Pitt to the Point. Once again, I'm Donnie Blackwell.
And I'm Erin Clark. Pitt to the Point is your #1 news source for all things happening at Pitt, all the way to the point. See you next time.